What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ, and welcome to Monday, December 29th, only a few days away from New Year's, and only a few days away from the portal officially opening. We're going to talk portal today. We're going to talk about, first off, some of the players that have announced that they were leaving since we last were live. We're going to talk about a little bit, of course, the massive news that Colorado has a new AD in the house, and I'll just briefly give you an overview of why it's a great hire. But I will be putting out a full profile on the brand new AD for Colorado, which I think was as good of a hire as they could have possibly had with the situation going on with college football and the current landscape that it is. And so overall, I'm excited for that. And excited for what's happening there. And then the topic of the show, as the title states, of course, as the profile thumbnail photo for the video shows, we're going to take a look at just some names that I'm throwing out there. I have no connections to. I have no things connecting Colorado to. Now, I will say there are a few that I do have some things. We'll give you those. But the rest of them are just names that I would love for Colorado to get. Not only that, I tried to be a little realistic with some names, okay? I'm not just going to go down the list of 24/7 rivals stars, pick the top players and say, this is who Colorado should get. No. Looked at a lot of production, looked at a lot of snaps that those players took, looked at what Colorado, of course, was needing, and just throw out some names that would be absolutely amazing for Colorado to get based on what Colorado is needing this offseason. Again, we're going to have some fun with it, okay? We're going to have some fun with it. There is not any rhyme or reason to it, so don't feel like that. We're in a kind of lull period right now. We've got a few days till the portal comes. We're just hearing more and more names hitting the portal. And so we're not going to have really too much information, and not a lot is getting leaked or put out there. I will talk about, we at least know of probably 2 players that will be coming to Colorado. They will be a part of the wish list that I have, and I will explain why they are great players that Colorado is getting. So be on the lookout for that as well. But I appreciate all of you guys. Let's do a quick hello to the chat. Already love the conversation here when it comes to you guys. I mean, I absolutely love it. I love this one, of course. We aren't getting any big names in the portal. In fact, we'll get very few Power 4 players. No shade, just reality of needing to pay JuJu, seat, merit, and get 50 transfers. Okay. It depends on your definition of big names in the portal. Is Colorado going to go after every top player in the positions of needs that they need? No. And I don't want them to. Let's not forget, let's have a reminder for those of you who may be somewhat newer to this, somewhat newer to my channel, somewhat newer to the Buffs, or may just be an outside hater watching in your hate watch. Colorado went out and signed the top defensive lineman in the portal last year in Jaheim Otis, paid him a nice sum of $800K at the time. We're in a bidding war, by the way. They did give him, the most that he possibly could get. He comes in, absolutely lays an egg when it came to the standards that we needed from him. And probably one of the biggest misses, the biggest miss, next to possibly our quarterback miss last year, that caused this entire issue, that put us in the position that we're at. So let's not look at those quote unquote big names. When you look at teams like Houston, when you look at teams like Indiana, when you look at other teams like that and how many players they signed in the transfer portal and what the quote unquote sum of their ranking / big name appeal / all of that were, and where those teams ended up, it's not always about the big name. Okay. So are we going to just go after the best of the best from Power 4? No. Are we going to go after 1 or 2 guys like that? Absolutely. You will see Colorado go after some of those, but they are going to go after a lot of FCS, G5 players, because guess what? Those players are hungry. They have bided their time at lower levels. They have played their butts off, put up massive stats, which I'll show a lot of players like that, and are deserving of making the jump to the next level. You want those kind of, guys that are hungry for that. We can go back to Colorado's roster the last 3 years. Think of the players that came in with those backgrounds that ended up playing well. And yes, I will use some of the players that Coach Prime brought from Jackson State. A Cam Silman-Craig, for instance, his first year. HBCU safety, comes into Colorado, plays 2 great years in Colorado. That's nothing to not write home about. There are so many things when it comes to that. So it doesn't need to be that way, okay? It needs to be more about the right player. Who is going to fit our scheme? Who is going to fit the positions that we need them to be? And can we go after the right players when it comes to that? Okay? So that is something that we need to pay attention to and understand heading into this. So we're going to look at that when it comes to some of my wish list. Mind you, I was not able to get through all of it. I'm going to do the best that I can with a few of the positions that I know you guys are going to be really, really following. Okay. So that's what we're going to go over at the end of the half. I'll appreciate it. Yes. Yeah. Gotti, I appreciate it whenever anybody tags me in that stuff. You especially have got some great things out there as far as players that you're looking at. I think that's absolutely going to be a big key part to this. Okay, let's talk about the news. Of course, the biggest news of the week. Let's jump straight to it. Of course, like I said, that is the hiring of our new athletic director for Colorado. I think it was a great hire. Fernando Lovo, athletic director for CU. He will be taking over and doing a transition period with Rick George, who will still be in the position for 5 to 6 more months, allowing Fernando Lovo to learn on the job. But let's talk about Fernando Lovo a little bit and where he came from. Of course, Fernando Lovo came from New Mexico. That's right, University of New Mexico. Lobos. That's right, Lobo. He will be the 7th athletic director in the history of Colorado. What I really love about this hiring is his background, what he was as far as his past and his experience, guys. It's not shabby at all. Just to let you guys know a little bit about his experience, which, by the way, is mostly tied to football. Fernando Lovo, 2012 to 2015, was Ohio State. That's right, the Ohio State's football operations coordinator. In 2015 to 2016, he was Houston's assistant AD for football operations. 2016 to 2021, he was Texas. That's right, Texas Longhorns chief of staff for football. And in 2021, he was the Jacksonville Jaguars chief of staff. Okay, he has been around football, big football guy, really important to do that. Now, here's a couple of notes that I have that are, again, going to be part of my profile video that I'll be putting together for Lovo. He has a proven track record of operational excellence, revenue generation, fundraising, and an unwavering dedication to academic integrity and financial stewardship. Okay, that is something to pay attention to. Here's some more notes about him. Lovo guided the Lobo Athletics Department to growing their overall operating budget of the department by 17.6% from the fiscal year 25 to the fiscal year 26, achieving record marks in ticket sales, multimedia rights, parking, concessions, trademark, and licensing revenue, along with a record year for the Lobo Club fundraising for the University of New Mexico. That is important. Here's some other things. He was tasked with hiring a new football coach in just his second week on the job, bringing in Jason Eck, who at the time was one of the hottest names in all of coaching. He also hired basketball coach. So for those of you that wonder if he will have anything to do with basketball, he hired basketball coach Eric Olin from UC San Diego in what was widely considered one of the best hires during the offseason. Also, during his time at Houston, they went 22-5 and laid the foundation for the university's eventual move to Big 12 football. So Lovo was a part of that huge move for Houston when he was there. And during his time at different stops, he has overseen nearly $500 million in capital projects. Okay, the guy is very much tied to finances. Now, I wanted to go back to a comment that I saw a little bit up and wanted to post about this really quickly. Let me find it. There it is. Right here, north side. Russ, love the incentives for Lovo. For those of you that don't know, listen to this, guys. His contract has some massive incentives tied to it, which I absolutely love. Hey, let's give him a good salary, not shabby, but let's also tie a lot of incentives that could really transform this university. The biggest one being is fundraising, okay? We're talking about the portal. What bigger thing is going to be an aspect of the portal moving forward and Coach Prime's ability to build teams than the program's ability to fundraise? Fundraising incentives in Fernando Lovo's contract, per Brian Howell, of course, is if he raises $25 million, that's $25 million before June 20th, 2026, literally 6 months, guys. He has 6 months to raise $25 million. He will get a cool sum of $200,000. If he can raise $25 million in 2027, $200,000. $30 million in 2028, $200,000. $35 million in fiscal year 29, $250,000. $40 million in 2030, $250,000. And then in the last year of his deal, the last 6 months of 2030, if he can raise another $25 million, he will get an extra sum of $150,000, really tying that fundraiser ability to his ability to gain incentives that are quite lucrative for his deal. So that is really nice that I like CU tying that to him. The Regents had a lot of great things to say when it comes to Fernando Lovo and what he was able to bring to the table. The search for an AD had around 60 names. They came down to about 4 finalists, with Lovo beating out, from what the Regents said, some very high-profile names to get the job. We don't know who those are, but the fact is that he beat them out for this job. I'm going to go over more of his career, go through step by step what has been talked about him, what he has said, what he has done in his career in a profile video that I hope to have out by the end of the week. If you know my profile videos, you'll know what to expect from that one. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you know when that video drops. Those type of videos aren't really on a set schedule. Just kind of give you an idea of when they come out and they kind of drop, so you can see that later on. So I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and watching that video when it comes out. But overall, guys, it is a good hire for Colorado. He is young. He is up and coming. He has had a number of vast experience jobs at different parts of football, different parts of college sports, including already being an AD. Okay. Yes. Was it at the University of New Mexico Lobos? Yes. Was that a, Mountain West school? Yes. But he is an up and comer, and this is a promotion for him to go to a big Power 4 school. So congratulations to Fernando Lovo. We look forward to you getting on the job and starting to work with Coach Prime to figure out what is needed to have his success and the overall football programs, as well as other sports at Colorado. So congratulations on getting the job. We look forward to what you're able to do on that. Okay, we'll talk about a few more players that have hit the portal for Colorado. Of course, today, the player that hit the portal is Reginald Hughes. I have no idea where that one came from, simply because Reginald Hughes was one of those players at the beginning of the year that talked about in an interview how he wanted to come to Colorado in his final year of eligibility and perform. He played, did not perform very well, but all of a sudden now has another year of eligibility, whether that's due to the JUCO rule or what. At this point, let's just say, we have no idea what eligibility rules are, okay? It just seems like players pull eligibility out of thin air and magically do that, but good luck to Reginald Hughes. Of course, a couple of other names that have hit the transfer portal that we need to pay attention to. That hit the portal over the weekend. Sam Okunlola, we knew that one was coming since about week 4. Don't know why it took so long for him to officially announce. And then, of course, the other one, running back Dallin Hayden. Wish him good luck. He had some great play in the limited action that he had. Unfortunately, he had that hand injury to start the season that stopped him from getting off on a fast pace. Once he did come, he played sparingly, but when he did, he played absolutely great. So I know that, Dallin Hayden will hopefully find a home and do some great things out there. Unfortunately, it will not be at Colorado. So we wish him the best when it comes to Dallin Hayden and his future. We had a bunch of players announce that they were hitting the NFL draft. Arden Walker, Jeremiah Brown, several others on the team as well. We'll see if they are able to stick anywhere for that. And then the other big news, of course, was the Christmas announcement of, and a player that we are waiting on, 2026 three-star defensive lineman Joseph Pecco, officially committed to Colorado. Of course, his brother, Domata Pecco Jr., had already committed to Colorado, JuCo player this past season. He is committed to Colorado with, of course, his dad, Domata Pecco Sr. being a coach here at Colorado. We were wondering if Joseph would be signing with Colorado. So that adds an extra person to our 2026 class. I believe we are up to 13 players in that class. So not too shabby considering we were at 10 around signing day. Ends up with 13 so far. And hey, the actual national signing day is coming up in February. And when that happens, I could see Colorado adding easily 2 to 3 more players there. But it is portal season. So I want to get to the transfer portal, talk about some names, talk about some players that I would love to have at Colorado. Okay, so these are wish list players. I will tell you if they are, but I'm going to go straight to the 2 players who we pretty much, from everything I have heard, have confirmation that they will be Colorado Buffs. And those players are, of course, connected to Sac State. So the 2 big players that it looks like we are for sure getting once the transfer portal player opens, and we've already got a comment about that from BMO, is Deshaun Watts. That is one of the players that I believe will be signing with Colorado. Just to let you guys know a little bit about Deshaun Watts and what he brings to Colorado, because he is the best defensive player on that Sac State team. Deshaun Watts, defensive lineman, 6'2", 318 pounds. Here are his stats for this past year: 21 tackles, 8.5 for a loss, 5 sacks. I also have his, and again, I use this, guys. I use PFF for you guys on this simply to give you guys something to look at. Okay, PFF is not always a great representation for players. The reason why I do that and I don't use film on here is because YouTube copyrights most of the time when I post film breakdowns or videos. For instance, last year I used a film video breakdown for someone in the portal. Video got immediately taken down and copyrighted. So I'm not going to mess with that this year. So unfortunately, this is all you get for now. It's more a visual representation of who these players are so that you have something while we talk about them. But that's kind of what you have to do during portal season. Recruiting season with high school recruits is easier because we can show off their high school footage. It is not copyright material because it is not nationally broadcasted and held by that. So please understand that that is what I'm doing here. I have to do that, unfortunately, just to let you guys know. You're more than welcome to Google these players, to look up their videotape if you want to. Some of this I've got off of the videotape I've watched, mixed with stats, mixed with their grades, mixed with talking with some other people I trust when it comes to breaking down players, and they have been the ones that have brought up these players as well. So Deshaun Watts, let's take a look at what he brings to the table so that you guys can see just what a great player he is on paper. Okay, on paper. But again, 6'2", 318 pounds. This is the best player, period, on Sac State's roster, probably both on offense and defense. So the fact that we're getting a Deshaun Watts to Colorado is fine. He is going to be a big-time name. He is going to be a leader of this team moving forward. He is going to be able to play. Who cares if he was an FCS player? Are some of his numbers going to probably drop a little bit because he is jumping up to the next level? Potentially, yes. Okay, but he's got size, he's got ability, and overall, things show up pretty darn well for him, okay? Overall graded out defensively at an 89 this year, 91.6 in the run defense. That's what you want to see out of a defensive tackle that is 318 pounds. We need players. We need players, okay, that can show up and be there, okay? So that's what's going on with Deshaun Watts. He is 6'2" on every site. I don't know where north side you're getting 5'11" to 6'2", 318 pounds. Literally, every website I've looked at, Rivals has him listed at that. Everybody has him listed at that. Okay? But Deshaun Watts, still a decent pickup for Colorado to add to that defensive line, who literally cleared out the entire defensive line, guys. Okay? Literally out here completely. We need like 7 to 10 defensive linemen in the portal. Okay. So Deshaun Watts, good add, whether he starts, whether he's depth, I think he can grow into that role. So that is one that it looks like we are for sure getting. The other player that it looks like we are for sure getting is going to be also from Sac State. That is wide receiver. Again, we have to add several of those. I don't know why people hate the fact that we have to add these players, but hey, we do, and that's what we're doing. So let me pull up this player as well. You guys probably already know about this one. But I want to bring it up anyway to talk about real quick. Let me pull him up just so you guys can have a visual representation of who they are. Okay, the other one that looks like we are picking up is Ernest Campbell from Sac State, wide receiver. Graded out 84.2, had a very good season for Sac State. A little bit about Ernest Campbell, for those of you wondering, stat-wise, 37 receptions, 755 yards, and 8 touchdowns. His big thing is speed/breakaway ability. That is going to be who ends up coming into Colorado because, again, his ties to Brennan Marion and his ability to already know the go-go offense is going to be critical for Colorado. There is a third one that I don't have confirmation, but I think, and it looks like will be coming along with Brennan Marion, and that is Damian Henderson. Damian Henderson of Sac State, just so you guys know a little bit about him, 565 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6.2 yard rushing average in Brennan Marion's go-go offense. Those guys will probably most likely be coming to Colorado, but Colorado's going to be in the market for a running back as well outside of a Damian Henderson ad. Okay, so I do have a number of running backs on my wish list to let you guys know of some names that to potentially look out for when it comes to the portal. So let's go through some of the names that I have and go through what they're able to do. One name that I've had brought up to me, AJ Harris, cornerback, Penn State. He is a potential as a DB for Colorado. Grades are okay. He had a better 2024 than he did at 2025, but then again, Penn State did not have a great year at all. So that's somebody that got brought up to me by a scout to pay attention to, says that he could be a diamond in the rough gem type player that you could uncover and add that maybe didn't show up great last year, but could show up better than what Colorado had in the past. So that's what we've got going on there. AJ Harris, one of the names I wanted to bring up. Another name I wanted to bring up that got brought up to me, Junior Poyser. He is from Buffalo, defensive tackle, 6'1", 310 pounds, red shirt sophomore. A little bit about Junior Poyser, 31 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He is somebody that I think could be a nice add. Again, we have to add so many defensive linemen, guys. So many defensive linemen. Okay? That there are going to be names that you're going to say and scratch your head because you're going to be like Buffalo. You're going to be like, Sacramento State. When we add these guys, you're going to be like, that doesn't make me happy. We need a lot of guys. Okay. So not everyone is going to be a number one get, big name guy. We're not going to get the top 5 players for that position for multiple reasons. but we need players. We need bodies. Now, here is one that I think would move the needle a little bit for you guys out there. Okay? One for you guys when it comes to moving the needles. Santana Hopper. Okay? Santana Hopper, Tulane defensive lineman. Santana is not going to be your 3-tech, big-bodied guy. Okay? Santana Hopper, 6'2", 265 listed. 29 tackles, 4.5 sacks. Scout that I spoke to when it came to Santana Hopper said he is absolutely ridiculously athletic, is going to make a lot of moves as he continues to develop and grow next year into his 5th year. Started at App State, came to Tulane. Look at his grades, by the way, okay? You can see, again, this is what you guys can come to expect, by the way, when it comes to what's going on, okay? See how he slowly got better at App State? Okay, started his freshman year, got a little better, had an unbelievable, red shirt sophomore year, 89.8 graded out, jumps up to the actual big boys, okay? Playing at Tulane this past year, scores at an 80.2, 72.9 in the run, okay? 59.4 tackling, 80.9 in the pass rush. Okay? So you can see, you start at the lower level, you jump up to the next level, so forth. Okay? So that is somebody that could be of absolute want for Colorado. He could be a great guy to add to the trenches and the defensive line. Okay? Outside of that, let's see where we're going next. Okay, here's the one you guys have been waiting for. Okay? Here is the guy that you guys have been waiting for. Linebacker. I will tell you guys, the linebacker transfer portal is absolutely bursting at the seams. For Colorado being a team that absolutely needs linebackers, this is the portal of all portals to go get some linebackers. Let's go through my wish list of linebackers, okay? Okay, because there are some big names on here. There are also some more realistic names on here that I think we can get, okay? One of those names, Austin Romaine. This one is a wish list, dream type scenario, okay? The first two that I'm going to cover are dream type scenarios. So they are guys that could Colorado get? Possibly. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. They're going to be in high demand. Austin Romaine, 6'2", 245, K-State. Okay, just look at what he's done. Last year was an even better year at K-State. 90.8 was his defensive rating. This year dropped a little, 76. Also played in less games overall for K-State. But hey, I think he would be an absolute barn burner to have at Colorado. I mean, you can see the kid has been playing since his true freshman year. 320 snaps his freshman year, 621 snaps his sophomore year, and then this year, his junior year, 517. Okay? That is an absolute ridiculous guy here. Okay? He is absolutely deserving to go to kind of jump and make a big splash, get some money. He'd be a guy you'd have to pay to get. And as Northside points out here, he was a walk-on last year. So again, guy who has improved greatly, done some amazing things. As a walk-on, he did a 90.8 grade at 621 snaps. This year, still a 70.6. Pretty darn good. Okay? Pretty darn good. So that is going to be Austin Romaine. The other name that, again, this one is probably as big of a wish list / guy that if we got him, guys, you could run up and down the street celebrating because it would be an absolutely insane pickup. Okay? Robert Woodyard Jr. Okay? I threw him on here because, again, I would absolutely love to have him. I don't think it's going to happen. This one is an absolute crazy type player in the portal. He is going to be one of the top sought out linebackers in the entire portal. We'll see just how much budget Colorado has put towards the linebacker and defensive line. But Robert Woodyard, all SEC team. All SEC team. Okay. Absolutely fantastic player. Just to let you guys know, by the way. Oh, and I didn't say this about Austin Romaine. Austin Romaine ended the season last year, 66 tackles, a half sack, and an interception. Robert Woodyard, 67 tackles, 2 sacks. You can see graded out at an 80. He's very good in the run defense, which we need from our linebackers, but also not that bad in coverage for a linebacker. 63.8, pass rush, 73.8. Tackling also graded out quite well as well on a pretty bad Auburn team. Okay? So, absolutely fantastic get. Do I think we have a chance at him? I'm going to say probably not. Okay? I don't know if we have the budget to pay for a Robert Woodyard type, but hey, maybe he's one of the guys that we decide to break the bank for a little bit. I think, if I'm being honest with you guys, I feel like Colorado could break the bank for at least 2 players total. And by break the bank, I mean we broke the bank essentially on Caden Salter and Jaheim Otis last year. So those type players, can we hit on those type players? Okay? Can we hit on those type of players? Woodyard would be insane. Okay, other linebackers that I want to talk about. Keaton Thomas leaving Baylor. Okay, I think he'd be a more of a realistic option that Colorado could go after when it comes to the linebacker room. 67.3, so not world beater when it comes to that. Okay, has looked okay. 6'2", 229 pounds, 99. That's right. You heard that right. The last 2 guys I just said, 66 and 67 tackles. Keaton Thomas, 99 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception. The guy is a tackling machine. You can even see that his tackling rating is his best attribute, 78.8. He does not miss tackles. Okay? He does not miss tackles. So, that would be an interesting one. I like Keaton Thomas. Okay, let me see. I believe that's it for linebacker that I have right now. Again, this is just some of the guys. There's so many players out there, but Keaton Thomas, just a very interesting one to me. There's also a JMU linebacker that I really like, but he might end up going with his coach elsewhere. There's other names out there. Okay, I'm just throwing out some. This stream is not going to be 2 hours long when it comes to names. Just throwing out guys that would be great to have, awesome to have. Let's go have a little fun, okay? Let's have a little fun. Why don't we go running back next? Okay? Running back next. Because let's be honest, I feel like Brennan Marion will bring in one big name running back, okay? Losing Dallin Hayden, losing technically Draylon Miller, who was a receiver / obviously running back. They're going to have to add to the running back room. I could see 3 to 4 running backs added, including Damian Henderson, that I just talked about from Sac State, who I think comes just because he knows the offense and can help with that. We are going to add at least 1 running back, and I could see Brennan Marion asking to use some money on a big name running back, guys. I truly do feel that way. Because I think in the go-go offense, a running back is going to see the opportunity that they're going to get, and they are going to absolutely come out and try and get one big running back to come and run this offense. And so I have a list of running backs here, just for fun for you guys. Now, this one is the pipe dream. The number 1 running back in the portal. It's one of the few positions when it comes to all of the wish lists that I have that is, yes, he is ranked the number 1 running back everywhere. A pipe dream, but who knows with Brennan Marion at the helm. Maybe he says, hey, I would like to spend some money. He goes out and spends big bucks on the running back. That would be Caleb Hawkins. Caleb Hawkins, guys. Caleb Hawkins, number 1 running back on every list, it would seem out there. Let me just throw a little bit of his stats, besides the fact that his grades are absolutely insane. Okay? When it comes to Hawkins, 1,434 yards last year, 25. That's right. 25 touchdowns. Okay? 25 touchdowns, 6.2 yard average, 370 receptions 4 touchdowns, 29 total touchdowns last year, guys. Again, like I said, pipe dream. You'd have to spend a lot of money for Caleb Hawkins. But I wanted to throw him out there because I thought it was good. Now, if you want the quote unquote, and I'm going to say this and I'm sure I'm going to get flamed for it in the chat, but I'm using it jokingly. Okay? The poor man's Caleb Hawkins. So if you want somebody that may not cost as much as Caleb Hawkins, that maybe Brennan Marion, okay, might be able to go out and get maybe a little bit more realistic than it. Notice I say a little bit more. Notice how I am talking, guys, because again, I know what's going to come up in the chat. Cam Cook, the poor man's, okay, Caleb Hawkins. Could Cam Cook be Brennan Marion's target? 5'11", 200 pounds. Now let's hear Cam Cook's stats. Yes. Is he at Jackson State? Yes. Okay, Jacksonville State. Is he at Jacksonville State? Yes. But could he jump to the next level and play in the go-go and put up at least 1,000 yards? I think he could. Okay? Cam Cook last year at Jacksonville State, 1,659. That's right, 1,659 yards, 16 touchdowns, a 5.6 yard average. Okay? And look at what he did here, guys. Look at what he did. 85.8 grade on PFF. His pass blocking is better, by the way, than Caleb Hawkins, which might be a little bit better use in the go-go if needed. But his running ability, 89.3. Passing, 59.1, 75.9, again, in the pass block. He is a great running back. Go watch him play. I don't care that he's from Jacksonville State. Running back is going to be a little bit different. He is a poor man's Caleb Hawkins. He's going to go somewhere and play really well. The next player, this is the one that I want the most. Okay? If I'm being honest, this is my top of the wish list guy that I would love to see simply because it's about bringing him home. The Colorado native had a long college career already, but could he be ready to make the move to come home and try one more time in this go-go offense? I believe he is perfect for the go-go offense. A little bit bigger, a little bit more of a bruiser. Add him with a guy like a DeKalon Taylor. Got a little thunder and lightning, so to speak. Gavin Sawchuk. I would love to see him come to Colorado. Okay, he is way down the list as far as ranked running backs. I think Colorado could grab him. Like I said, Colorado kid. That's right. He played his high school ball here in the state of Colorado. Okay, I would absolutely love to see Gavin Sawchuk in a Colorado uniform. To talk about his stats, a little bit less this year, 486 yards, but 8 touchdowns. Okay, he knows what he needs to do. That would be awesome. What I love about him, though, is 2 years ago at Oklahoma, he had a fantastic year. He had a rough year last year at Oklahoma, but this year, decent year at Florida State. Was not the featured back where he was the only guy. They had a thing going. But bringing Gavin Sawchuk back to Colorado, okay, with both, by the way, the size and speed that he is able to do, I think he would be an absolute perfect fit. Perfect fit for the go-go offense. I hope people are messaging Brennan Marion. I hope people are messaging Box. I hope they're highlighting Gavin Sawchuk and they reach out to the kid, because I feel like if Colorado were to reach out to Gavin Sawchuk, say, hey, I'm Brennan Marion. I want you to play in the go-go offense. I want to bring you back to Colorado. We're going to pay you to do it. I think there is a chance that he could be a guy that could come to Colorado. Okay? I think that's a more realistic option out of the 3 that I've mentioned thus far. So Gavin Sawchuk, another great potential add. And then if we're looking to add a little bit more depth to running back, another one that would be interesting is Traquan Jones. Traquan Jones, Old Dominion running back. Again, looking to make that next jump. Okay, graded out quite well. Stats for the year, 792 yards, 6 touchdowns. Here's the key, though. 7.5 average for the season rushing, 7.5 yard average for the season. He'd be an interesting name at running back. So those are some of the running backs that I would love to see come to Colorado. Again, I love that people in the chat keep saying, like, ain't no way that's happening. Colorado's not getting anything, all of that stuff. That's not what this is about. I am not naming people that I think Colorado will get. I am naming people that I would love Colorado to get. Okay? Players that I would love Colorado to get, that I would love for them to go after. And I think it would be a success if we were able to get one of these guys for sure. Okay? But that's what I'm at there. Okay? What positions? I love this question, Gerald. I'm gonna jump on this question because I appreciate you asking it. What positions would you spend over $1 million? Okay, we already know quarterback. We've already spent over $1 million. Okay, left tackle. We have already spent over $1 million. At this point, I would say another player that I would spend over $1 million at, defensive line. Okay, I want quarterback, one offensive lineman, one defensive lineman getting over $1 million if at all possible. Okay? Absolutely. Just because linebacker is so saturated as far as the portal goes, Colorado's going to be able to get some decent linebackers. Okay? I don't think they're going to have to go to the very top and pay over $1 million for Woodyard. Would I absolutely love Robert Woodyard for over $1 million? Potentially. If we have the money again, if we've taken care of our other players and that's happened, absolutely. But I think defensive line, if you can find a defensive lineman that's worth it. However, my problem is I don't know if there's anybody in the portal just yet, defensive lineman wise, that is worth over $1 million guaranteed. Okay, because you got to remember, Otis would have been that player last year, and look what happened to us. Okay, so we got to be careful with that. And so, maybe there isn't a guy that is over $1 million when it comes to that. We will have to see. Let's jump to another fan favorite, fun one. I know we're covering this, but I wanted to throw out there wide receiver. Okay, we obviously lost Omarion Miller. Today, by the way, absolutely insane. Cam Coleman, Auburn, jumping in the portal. He's going to easily commandeer over $1 million, okay? Omarion Miller will probably get upper six figures, close to $1 million. Cam Coleman is going to get over $1 million, guys. Over $1 million. But I do have some receivers that we can look at because we're going to have to add some. Now, here is probably my top target. I already showed you Ernest Campbell. He's probably a dunzo deal to Colorado. He knows the go-go. He can come in and run it right away. The next guy that I'm talking about is one that you guys know very well because guess what? It's probably going to happen. It could happen simply because he is, well, the fact is he has ties to our new offensive coordinator, Brennan Marion. Okay. That person is DeAndre Moore, one of the top ranked wide receivers in the portal. And that is because he's coming from Texas. He has had some good years at Texas. Let's go ahead and pull him up. DeAndre Moore Jr., stats last year, 38 receptions, 532 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 foot, 192. His main recruiter at Texas was Brennan Marion. So I could definitely see him being a target for Brennan Marion and bringing him to Colorado. I could. That tie is going to be huge. They got 2 backs, by the way. Texas got 2 backs in there because I looked at one of them as well. What was his name? I can't remember. Shoot, but there's that. Yeah, great one. We're going to add some depth wide receivers, but I think they go after one big name wide receiver. And by big name, that may be not what you think, okay? We're not going after Cam Coleman. We're not going after, those guys. We're going to look different. Now, this is one that's been brought up in the chat, by the way, a lot, the next one. Okay? The next one that's been brought up in the chat a ton that I want to cover because he is on my list already. And I think he might be a little bit more realistic when it comes to player that is going to be added. That would be wide receiver Jace Brown. Okay. Wide receiver Jace Brown. Kansas State, 6 foot, 179. A little bit about Jace Brown, 41 receptions, 712 yards, 5 touchdowns last year. You can see his grades, 75 overall offense, passing game 72.5, run blocking 64.6. You're going to want your receivers to have that 60 to 70 range of blocking with the go-go scheme. You don't want anything less than that. We had receivers last year scoring way less than that. Okay. Massive issue. Okay. So that's somebody that I threw out there as a potential wide receiver. Here is another one that is, I think, a very good option for Colorado. This is one that I've been looking at for a while. Would absolutely love to get him on this team. And again, he's not going to be your top 5, top 10 rated receiver in the portal. He is going to be somebody that I think is a little under the radar, but I think he could be a very, very good get for Colorado. Okay. To add as well. And that is Cam Perry from Miami of Ohio. Okay. Cam Perry, a little bit about his stats, 43 receptions, 976 yards, guys, 6 touchdowns, almost 1,000-yard receiver for Miami. Could be very good in the go-go offense. I like what I saw from him on tape. He got better as the season went on. Grades obviously are going to look a little different, but he's got a year of eligibility, started his career at Indiana, then went to Miami, Ohio. I think Cam Perry could be a nice little budget get, okay? A little depth get. And you know, Gotti, I think you're right in this, and I think we need to remind everybody this. We don't need the top-rated guys. There's guys and dogs that can jump to the level and dominate for cheap. Yeah, we may lose them if we don't. Up their pay and then put them on, and then put on for 26. Yeah, Cam Perry and the go-go would be absolutely amazing. Ernest and Cam on the field with like a Quentin Gibson, that would be laser-focused speed, which could work in the go-go with the up-tempo offense and all of that. And trying to hit the ball over the top. They're not going to be your jump ball guys, which again might be another reason that Omarion Miller is no longer with the Buffs. Okay. It might be another reason. I mean, Omarion Miller, unbelievable receiver. Okay. Can really get that, go up for it. We might need a little bit more speedsters than what we had. So he's another guy that is going to be a big part of it. So one more kind of, again, under the radar receiver that I wanted to throw out there for you guys as well. This is a guy who has been linked to Colorado officially. Okay, so I wanted to bring him up. I'm sure people are not going to be happy about it, but it is what it is. This is Tristan Gardner, 6'2", 180 pounds, just hit the portal more recently. And he has been listed as a player that Colorado has already kicked the tires on. Okay. Colorado has already kicked the tires on, guys. So there's your little bit of news on 3/24/7, reported that Tristan Gardner has received interest from Colorado. You can see his grades, his yardage, by the way, for the year, 465 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think they like the fact that he is a mix of height and speed, and I think they believe that he will fit into the go-go offense as well. Okay? So those are what's going on. Gotti's got it. Okay? It's not about the jump ball guys. It's not about the tall guys. It is, can we get speed? Can we get route technicians? Can we get guys who want to block as well? Okay. A lot of people said that LeJohntay Wester was not a great ad when we brought him in. That was all Shador wanting LeJohntay Wester. And we saw what he did. All he did was get open. That guy was open 24/7. Gotti's got the right style to this. Okay. So while some people, might think Perry too short, Q, Ernest, you don't need the height necessarily if you're going to run an offense that is more predicated on route running, speed, technical prowess. Okay. Not to mention Julian Lewis, who is a technician passer, who doesn't need that cannon downfield. He needs route runners and players getting open. Yes, he can throw the ball deep, though, Steve. Let's not give credit to that. If you've got a speedster running an out route down the field, Julian Lewis is going to hit them in stride. I absolutely love him. Okay? Absolutely love him. Okay? Oh, I know. I miss LeJounte. I miss LeJounte. Yes. Absolutely, Brady, offense-wise, got to believe in Marion. First coach on staff I've trusted to put in his time in on player evaluations. Brady, and he came in day one, and he has been working his butt off, visiting, talking to players, doing all sorts of crazy things. That guy has come in and hit the ground running more than probably anybody except maybe Coach Prime. And by that, I mean like when they first started type of thing. Okay? Okay, let's move on. That's it for receivers, okay? I've got a few linemen. I'm still working on linemen because that one's going to be an important one, and linemen is a little bit harder to find, guys. I don't mean like the players aren't out there. I mean like in order to list out who I might want, I've got to dive a lot deeper into that because you don't have things like stats or easily available video of them because obviously the position players, they have highlights you can watch. They have video of games and things where it focuses. It's harder to find stuff on linemen. So I've got to figure out the linemen a little bit better before I just jump into it and give you guys a list. However, I know some of you want DBs. Don't worry, I didn't forget it. And don't worry, the name that you guys have been screaming in the chat all stream long is on my list. So let's just jump right to it, shall we? Because I know this is the one you want. This is the one people have been clamoring for. This is the one that has said and come out online, I want to play for the Buffs. So I hope to God the team is not lacking when it comes to this because I think he could be a great player for Colorado. He reminds me of a Tafik Byard. He could replace Tafik Byard on this team. He could bring some leadership to this team. He can bring and solidify what we need for this team. Cam Chapa. Okay? A lot of you guys in the chat have been drilling this one. Cam Chapa, 6'1", 193-pound safety at the University of Northern Colorado Bears. Okay? Look at his grades. Look at his grades. Yes. Is it FCS level? Yes. Will he most likely drop a little bit, jumping to the next level? Yes. But he graded out at a 91.5. A 91.5 at FCS. One of the best defensive players and defensive backs in all of FCS. Okay? In all of FCS. So, absolutely unbelievable. Okay? Coverage grade, still a 90. Tackling, a 92.3. That's what we need out of our safeties. What did we struggle with at the time when Chapa was not, when Byard was out? Our safeties could not tackle to save their lives, okay? And when your linebackers are terrible, which they were this year, our safeties had to make up for that. And it was bad. It was bad. Chapa could be a great plug-and-play player at the safety position, okay? 90 run defense, 92 tackling. Listen to his stats for the year, okay? Listen to this, guys. 88 tackles. 88 tackles. 2 forced fumbles. And then here's a huge one coming from a safety, guys. 4 interceptions from a safety. From a safety. And this wasn't just like a couple of games. This was all over. Okay? Cam has said, his parents have said, his dream is to play for the CU Buffs. If CU calls him and says, hey, Cam, do you want to come play for Colorado? Do you want to play safety for us? He would say yes. He has publicly stated that. So Colorado needs to get the easy win here. Remember what we talked about with Colorado recruits? This guy's in our backyard. He's a Colorado native. He played at UNC up the road. Okay? He has 2 years of eligibility left. 2 years of eligibility left. Guys, 2 years of eligibility. Okay? I like everything that I've seen about Cam Chapa. Hard worker, leader on the field, absolutely dog. I mean, look at this. As a true freshman, he graded at an 86.7, and then he improved. That's what you want to see out of the lower level players. Are they getting snaps? Oh, yeah. He has 1,500 snaps, guys, in 2 years. 1,500 snaps. We need to get on the phone with Cam Chapa. We need to be on the phone with him. Okay. Safety. Now, here is the pipe dream safety. Okay. Cam Chapa would be a great safety to get. He'd absolutely be fantastic when it comes to a get. Now, if you want to go all out for a safety, you want to go get somebody that will make you forget about Tafiq Bayard, Tyler Brown. Yep, I said it. Tyler Brown. Not that Tyler Brown. This Tyler Brown. JMU Tyler Brown. Now, do I think Colorado has a chance at him? I do not. Okay. 76.4 grade overall. Here's Tyler Brown's stats. He's the one player I didn't bring up. Tyler Brown's stats for the JMU Dukes. A little bit about him this year. 80 tackles. Okay. 1 sack. 1 interception. Pretty good player. 5'11", 194. I think that could absolutely be a fantastic get for Colorado. And there's that. Breaking news, guys. By the way, breaking news right now. Going to go ahead and do it. Not a shocker. I'm shocked that he stayed as long as he did. Okay. I am shocked that he stayed as long as he did. Of course, Ryan Staub is officially going to be entering the portal. Congratulations to Ryan Staub. I'm excited for him to go get a look somewhere to start. Okay. I am excited for him to go get a start somewhere. Colorado quarterback Ryan Staub intends to enter the NCAA transfer portal. He has 2 seasons of eligibility remaining. Staub started 2 games in 3 seasons at Colorado, threw for 681 yards and accounted for 5 touchdowns in his career. Pete Thamel also added a note. Staub is looking for a school where he can compete to start his final 2 seasons. Former 3-star high school player from California. Ryan Staub, go be great, man. Go be great. I think a lot of us said last year that we thought he was gone, that he was going to go someplace to start, spend 2 years starting someplace. If he's successful, he can transfer his senior year and go do something massive. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I will cheer him on wherever he goes. I hope to God that he goes somewhere where he truly, truly can compete for the starting job. Okay. Do not look down on a lower level school. Do not look down on FCS. Do not look down on, that. If you can go somewhere and start, go be big. Go be big, King. Martin Luther. That's right. Okay? Yeah, he got his chance. Didn't pan out, but we all wish him luck. I think everybody loves Staub. Okay? I think everybody loves Staub for real. Okay? Draylon need to go to Montana, North Dakota State, and then come back to Power 4. Hopefully, we'll see it. We'll see. What's crazy is Draylon is ranked really high for the portal. Can we talk about this real quick? I want to talk about this real quick because this is pissing me off. Remember how we talked about when all the stuff went down about a month ago that Colorado, when they went into the portal this year, needs to make sure that they do not just go after the stars, which it seemed like they did at times, even when it was like obvious that, that player has no playing record. The portal rankings are absolutely crazy, guys. It again goes to prove, I don't think anybody has a good system when it comes to how they rate portal players. I truly don't think there is. Because some of these portal rankings are absolutely insane. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. First off, let's pull up the wide receivers. Okay. I'm going to show you this a little bit. Wide receivers. Okay. I want you guys to see this. Obviously, Cam Coleman, number 1. Cam Coleman, number 1. Okay. But look at this. Let's scroll down. Let's see where they pop up. Okay. Draylon Miller, the 21st overall in the portal right now. 3-star, 88 ranking. This is a guy who lost his job as a receiver due to drops and was put at running back. Like, did they just look at his stats and put him in the rankings? But here's the one that's really going to hurt you guys. Okay, you guys ready to have your heads blown off? Are you guys ready to have your heads blown off? This is going to be one that, oh, come on. I hate when it does this. Oh! There we go. Look at this, guys. Defensive lineman. I wonder who might be on this ranking. I wonder who might. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The number 7 rated defensive lineman, by the way, ahead of Santana Hopper, who I said I would love to have at Colorado, is Jaheim Otis. Who's smoking crack over at 24/7? Who's smoking crack over at 24/7? Your mom, you're gonna be very close to the, again, you never listen. I swear. You deaf? We need some hearing aids? I didn't say Draylon Miller was garbage. I didn't see anybody else in the chat say that Draylon Miller was garbage. Is he a unbelievable receiver that is going to be horribly missed at Colorado? No, unfortunately he's not, because of where he was at. But geez, we're going to start again. Bring some stuff to the chat. Let's see. But Otis, 3-star 87. Yes. Is he less than he was last year in the portal? Yes, he was. But technically T is not wrong. Otis is about to mess around and get another bag at some team. He's going to get money. Because I guarantee you, Coach Prime is not going to, give his praise to him. Probably won't say anything at all. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. He's easily going to make over $1 million in 2 seasons. That's crazy, guys. That's absolutely crazy. So that's why you guys got to be careful with the names on here, with where they're ranked, with where they're at. Be very careful with that when we add players, okay? Just because a player is not at a specific place, that's where it's at. Just going to let you know right now, plain truth, that's not happening. We're not getting Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman is going to go to the highest bidder. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's throwing out schools left and right. He is going to the highest bidder. My guess is, if I were to throw out a name for Cam Coleman, I would say at this point, Texas A&M is one of the few teams that can afford him. Texas A&M is one of the few teams that can afford him, and it makes sense to me that Texas A&M adds Cam Coleman. So, there's that. Okay? Cam Coleman is going to the highest bidder, and he's going to make over $1 million. Over $1 million. Okay? Absolutely insane. Yeah. Steve, A&M and Texas already on that list. Yeah, it's going to be A&M, Texas, Ohio State. I don't think Georgia will get in on that. LSU might, but I think LSU goes after Omarion Miller first. I think Omarion Miller's looking at Texas Tech and LSU. I think that Cam Coleman right now, A&M, Texas, Ohio State, those are going to be the 3 schools that'll probably go after him. I already said that. Yep. Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech goes after Omarion. He's a little bit less. I don't think they go after Cam. I don't think they go that crazy. And I don't know if Cam goes to Texas Tech unless the money is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. A&M to me makes the most sense. Yeah. Northside, this guy, 3 schools in 3 years after shunning Colorado out of high school. It's just funny, Northside, how many players shun Colorado out of high school that, were so tied with it, was so tied to Colorado, that are all in the portal. All of them are in the portal. It seems like. Okay. Yeah. It's going to look good. Texas Tech's going to look good no matter what. They are. So there's that. Miami wouldn't be bad either. I could see that. They have money. They could do it. They could pay. I'd love O in a Miami uniform. Ooh, that'd bring back the U days. like the true U days, the 2000s when Miami was swag. I mean, who did not like Miami in the 2000s except maybe Florida State fans? I think the rest of the world was all on that Miami train back then. The unis, the swag, the championships. Oh, I love Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis. Whoo! So there's that. So that's some of the players. Let me see if I forgot anybody that I really wanted to cover today. Again, this is not everybody, guys. I wanted to just throw out some names for today. Yeah. Oh, there's one other guy I would like to show that I would love. Again, another Colorado person. I think he'd be a great get for Colorado here for next year because we're going to need at least one of them. Give me a second here while I pull them up. That is another tight end to go along with Atkins just to have some experience. Rocky Beers, CSU. I think a Beers Atkins tandem would be really nice. 6'5", 250 pounds. Okay, 70 grade this season. What I love about Beers, he played in an offense, guys, similar to the Go-Go. He played in an offense similar to the Go-Go, guys. He played at Air Force for a little bit. So he has an understanding of that. Played at FIU. Played unbelievably at FIU last year. Went to Colorado State, did pretty well. He's out the door because of the coaching change and everything going on there. Could we entice him to drive down I-25 off to the Boulder Turnpike to get up to Boulder and play for the Buffs? Who knows? But just another name I'd throw out there of guys that if you see him around, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. So there is that last little tidbit for you guys of guys that I like that I'm looking at. Pretty awesome there. Let's go ahead and take the chat. I had a super chat from earlier from Lawyer 233. Keon Washington, Bowling Green, cornerback, please. I'll pull him up real quick. We'll see just on the cuff. I can go on a deeper dive later just to let you guys know. Keon Washington, DB. Here you go, Lawyer, for the super chat. You guys give me a super chat. I'll pull up their stuff. Okay. Okay. Grades, not so great, but young. Okay. Freshman, hitting the portal. Keon, pass rush, not bad. Overall, not great. Best game, though, was against Cincinnati. Interesting. Okay, best game against Cincinnati. Looks like he played for the most part, but down the stretch, it looked like he did not. So I'm not sure if he was battling an injury or not. Again, I'll have to look into him a little bit more. But there's somebody that Lawyer would like to see on the Buffs. Let's see. Do we have more breaking news? Why are people? Remember, don't be throwing stuff in there, okay? I'm excited for Staub. I was glad you guys threw that in the chat. Let's see what else happens to Colorado and what happens overall. Yeah, there's no more. Real quick, by the way, guys, absolutely go on Twitter and follow Keep It Real Buffs. He has been keeping tabs of the roster size. Just FYI, let me show you what he has. I'm giving him credit. Keep It Buffs is his tag on Twitter. Go give him a follow, give him a shout, make sure that he's seeing this because, I mean, he's putting in work, guys. So here is your current transfers. Of course, on offense, we've got Staub, Cardi Smith, Tyler Brown, Dallin Hayden, Omarion Miller, Draylon Miller, Gavin Marsh. Now, are you guys noticing something? Are you noticing something, guys? Look at how many defensive portal entries. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, guys? Okay. That shows you that this team said this defense was so horrendous that we are just starting from scratch. When it comes to how many left. Obviously, Otis, Brandon Davis-Swain, Gabriel Lightfoot, Christian Hudson, Tafik Thomas, Tavian Coleman, Samuel Okunlola, Alex McPherson, Reginald Hughes, Sean Myers, Mantrez Walker, Tion Parks, Braden Keith, Kyle Carpenter, Noah King, TJ Branch, Tafik Byer, John Slaughter, Terrence Love, and of course, kicker Alex Stojakovic. We do have a kicker, Elliot Arnold, on the roster, who was a quote unquote 5-star kicker out of high school last year on the roster. He has not left. He is still here. And we also have one more year, Buck Buchanan. Okay. So we're not completely out the door when it comes to what's going on. Yes, we will have new defensive coaches. Obviously, the new linebackers coach from Virginia Tech. He is going to play a big part in why they're leaving, and there's other coaches that will eventually be named here as well. Joe, Russ, is it possible a couple of these guys jumped in the portal and Prime said, let me know what offers you get, and we'll see if we can match or beat it? Joe, it could be. It definitely could be a potential thing, but I don't think it's going to be any of the players you think. Like, obviously, I think Tafik Bayard, he's gone. He's gone. I think some of the others potentially, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens when it comes to that. So we'll see what happens there. It's going to be interesting when it comes to that. Also, I wanted to show you guys, let me real quick pull it up because he's doing a great job too. He didn't do it on this one unless he did it later and I haven't refreshed. He might be loading it, but he does a really good job of giving you guys the depth chart as well. So again, keep it real buffs. Absolutely would recommend following him. Let me see if I can find his latest roster. There it is. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to pull it up. Here's what we got. Let me see if I can make it bigger for you guys. There you go. And let me zoom in more. No. Okay. So here is our current depth chart as we speak, heading into the portal. Guys, if you are wanting, follow Keep It Buffs. Okay. On Twitter. Absolutely fantastic job of putting together a depth chart. Okay. So you can see, I mean, we have some large gaps in places. Some places not as bad that we don't need, but obviously defensive tackle, the only players we have right now are Quincy Wiggins and Joseph Pecco coming in. Okay. Defensive end obviously hasn't been updated. Sam Okunlola, this is an older one. He has not put out a new one for this week. But absolutely fantastic. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. But there's that. Okay. So yep. Defensive ends, London Merritt, Nikhil Webb-Walker, Domata Pecco Jr. from JUCO. Linebackers right now, the only scholarship linebackers we have, I believe, is right now Kylan Salter. Kylan Salter has not hit the portal, guys. Kylan Salter has not hit the portal. Crazy business. We have one scholarship quarterback, by the way, now. Julian Lewis. Ryan Staub is gone. We will need to add at least 2 to maybe 3 quarterbacks. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Sacramento State quarterback ends up at Colorado just to have somebody in that room that can help figure out how to do the offense, that can be depth, that can be a backup for Julian Lewis. Who knows if they want to do that, but they're going to have to find that now. Linebacker room, like I said, Kylan Salter, and then the freshmen, Rodney Colton, Carson Crawford, Colby Johnson. They're going to be your other scholarship. Bo LaPena, Gage Goldberg, your walk-ons. So linebacker room, obviously, thin. Cornerback room, really all you got is RJ Johnson, Makari Vickers, Preston Ashley, Alex Ward. Nickel, you got Isaiah Harge. That is it. Maurice Williams also coming in. Safeties, all we've got is Carter Stoutmeyer and Ben Finiseth and Braylon Edwards. So we already know defense is going to be completely revamped. Okay? Completely revamped. That is going to be crazy. So Cam is not wrong. Okay. This is a huge part about the go-go. The go-go can take average players and boost their play. Okay. So offense will not see a ton of money spent on it. The money that they spent on offense was Julian Lewis and Jordan Seaton. That's why I said anybody that wants to think we're at all have a chance at Cam Coleman, we are not having a chance at Cam Coleman. Okay. We're not having a chance at Cam Coleman or really any other of those big names. Maybe I could see running back. Wide receiver, no. So like a Cam Perry, there's a reason I brought his name up. I think he could be a good value add that could be really good in this scheme and game. Okay. So yeah, that is your depth chart. That is what's happening right now. I'm going to get out of here in a second, but hey, before you go, guys, we have 1,000 people watching. Can you guys please hit that like? subscribe on YouTube. Okay, if you're watching this on Twitter, please jump over. Just hit my profile. You'll find the video, the link to it. Please, 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 please. It's a way to support me. Twitter, I get nothing. I get nothing for you watching this video on Twitter. Nothing happens. Okay, I appreciate you for watching at all. But if you want to just support a little bit, please just jump over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that like. We've substantially grown in the last 2 weeks. I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. To give you guys an update on where we're at subscriber wise, because again, I appreciate you guys so very much. When it comes to our subscriber account right now, we are officially at 6,245 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys so much for that. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Love you guys. Hey, we're only a couple days away from the portal. I am not going to be around this weekend. I'm going to bring my computer, so I might do a stream one of the days when the portal opens to get some of the news and breaking news. So I'll do the best that I can. Just know that it's going to be low-tech stream time. Although when I seem to do low-tech stream, I feel like that's when the biggest things happen. Do you guys agree with that? For those of you that have been around the channel for a while, when I do my low-tech streams, I feel like they're my biggest episodes ever because we cover some crazy stuff. Okay, I'll do my best, Joe. I'm playing in a hockey tournament on Saturday, and I'll be driving back from the mountains on Sunday. So that would be the only reasons that I would not be able to stream, but I will do my best on Friday if anything breaks. And I can always do a Saturday night stream or a Sunday stream in the morning too before I leave if I need to. So be on the lookout for those announcements. It's breaking news season, so the lives will come at random times. We'll do my best on Saturday when we come to the portal opening and what happens with Colorado. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Oh, we're probably going to sign more than that, Joe. We're probably going to sign more than 25 this weekend. I can tell you that much right now. The team is going ham right now, trying to get players scheduled and ready to go. Okay. Appreciate you guys so much for watching today. For Buffs News Weekly Live, I'm Russ. Go Buffs. See you guys next